In today's session, we are going to see a very different tool. It's a free application which helps you in searching files extremely fast. I was introduced to this tool very recently, and I was surprised that I did not know about it earlier and how did I live without it. So let's get started. This tool is called Everything. It's an app, Windows app. It's called Everything. So let's actually see how to install it. Don't do it now, but after the session you do it and you'll definitely thank me for showing you this. My friend Anindo showed this to me, I think around 8 months back. And since then, every day for searching, I have never used Windows search. I have used this. So it's that good. So how do we install it? How do we install it? Very simple. We go to Void Tools, and I will post this URL in the chat right now so you can also get it. Just download the relevant version. Ideally, most of us will have Windows 64-bit. So install the 64-bit version because it will be faster. And that's it. Once you install it, it just starts working. So how does it really work? Get and install is very easy. It's a small tool, does not take up any space, does not take up processor and memory also. It's a very, very small footprint. So let's see it in action. So this is the Everything tool. Very simple. How do you use it? Just type what you want here. So let's say I want to search for the word YouTube. Notice while I'm typing, it is doing this. It's really, really fast. And how does it work? As soon as you install it, it indexes everything in seconds, literally in seconds, and just starts working. Compare that with Windows search. That's going to be very painful. So generally what happens in Windows search, and give me a second to get the Windows search on screen so that if I can compare the two. So when I have Windows search, what happens? I click on the search and then let's say I type YouTube. Notice first of all what happens? It gives me all kinds of search results. So what is it showing me now? Sorry. It's showing me YouTube, and then it's giving me something like best match, social media, then work and web. Is very confusing. Essentially, when we are searching, we want files, and that too from the local drive. And this requires an extra click to go to documents. Now, even if you do that, it's still giving me so many options. This document, SharePoint, this, that, which is a good thing, is going across my organization and fetching files. But if I want quick and dirty search, this is a very, very painful thing to do. Now, notice what happened here. The moment I typed YouTube, it just gave me YouTube. Let's type LinkedIn. Done. As simple as that. While I'm typing, it's working beautifully, fast, and instant. So that's so obvious that you will never go to a typical Windows search or a file explorer search for this purpose ever, because this is so much better. In fact, I'm not doing anything right now, and look at my screen. What is happening? Everything is still working. And what do I mean by it is working? It is actually live, looking at all the files which are getting created or changed across my PC. I'm not doing anything. The search text is empty right now still. So for whatever reason, these things are dynamically changing because I have this date modified descending order. So many things are happening behind the scenes, and obviously I don't want to see these. So first, let's make it more sensible so that only relevant files are shown. Otherwise, these temp files and whatever is happening behind the scenes at Windows system level, we don't want to see. So what do? You go to Tools and Options, and then you exclude hidden and system files, and that will get rid of that thing which was happening. On the other hand, if you are a developer and you want to, or you are an IT person and you want to see what files are being generated dynamically, there's a brilliant tool. It's like a file monitor if you enable the system and hidden files. But right now we are not going there. Fine. So let's see simple searches. So if I want, let's say, PDF files, just say PDF. I don't have to say extension colon star.pdf, nothing, just PDF. Similarly, if I say doc, for example, of course, it's going to search for the word doc anywhere in the file name. So it found whatever this thing is, but it is also going to find doc and docx. So very simple, very fast. So let's try something. I'm going to search for doc. What happened? It did search for doc, but it's not specific to extension called doc. You want only doc or docx files to be searched, because old is doc and new word files are docx. New means 2007. If you want that, then you say extension colon, then you will get only doc files. Am I only getting doc files? Yes, I am not getting docx. So if you want doc X also, dot M also, then you can do doc star, or you can just say docx, in which case you will get docx. Simple and effective. Very nice. So easy stuff. Now, one of the very common things we do is search for folders, and that becomes really painful because in Windows you have to say something dot and not really good. So how do you search for folders? How do you search for folders? Let me show you. Here we have a special keyword called folder. Folder colon blog. Now it will only give me results where the word blog appears in any folder. So this is really useful. Folder blog. Folder colon blog. Easy and effective. So that's how easy it is to search for folders. Very often we have zip files. Zip files are a special type of folder that way. So let's see how to search for zip files. So if I go here, there is a special keyword here called zip colon blog. Now it is only going to give me zip files which contain the word blog. What is the syntax? Zip colon blog. Easy and effective. Very nice. Let's go next. Size and time are again two things which we use commonly. So there is a very nice syntax here for various types of dates. What do I mean by that? So let's look at the search syntax. So it's a good idea first time you use it to go to this, go to help, and go to everything help, which is what I'm showing you here. So in help, we have many topics, and there is something called searching related help. So these are different kinds of search options available to us. You can have and, or, and all that. But what I'm talking about is these. These are, never mind, they are called macros. Zip colon only search for compressed files. So it could be zip, rar, whatever. It understands different types as well. Very nice. Similarly, we have doc, exe, pic, video, and various different formats. So if I say something like audio, which is a keyword, so to say, audio colon OneDrive, audio colon, notice it is giving me MP3 as well as WMA as well as M4A. So all audio formats. Similarly, if I say pic, what is it giving me? Pictures which contain, the file contains the word YouTube, and they are all types of pictures, PNG, JPG, and so on. So it's very, very useful. Windows does have something equivalent of that, but it's called kind colon, and that's a very comprehensive syntax, but most people don't know it. And even if you know it, it's slower than this. So what's the point? Fine. Now, generally what happens, we know the file name and we know the extension. How do we put two and two together? So you have to struggle with star, dot, something like that. That's not really required. So for example, I want to search for an SVG file which contains the word office. So now I don't know the syntax, when to say dot, when to say star, nothing. So I'm just typing office space SVG. It does the job very, very fast. Similarly, I can do any extension and any file name. Very effective. Now when it comes to time means what? When was the file modified, created, and stuff like that. So there we have very, very useful syntax. So here is the deal when it comes to syntax of time related stuff. So let me go to the time area. It has many things which it understands by default, like year, month is that, and these are common things which understands like Jan, Feb, March. Not only that, today, yesterday, current, this, coming week, coming month. So these can be used in combinations. And along with that, we have various other options as well. So when it comes to content searching, it can be really useful in terms of different kinds of formats. So it has something which is called DM, means date modified. DC means date created, and so on and so forth. Just give me a second. I need to interrupt this and I'll be back in a couple of seconds, 30 seconds. Please pardon. Okay, I'm back. So it has many very nice useful syntax options which allow you to search by date created, date modified, and so on and so forth. So the simplest thing you need to remember, very often we don't bother and we don't want to know when was the file created. But I want to search for files I created yesterday, for example. So that's DM, date modified. Remember that syntax. So what happens now, if I want to say date modified, DM colon, what is it going to show me? Yesterday. And it's going to show me all the files, and I want to show PPT. So as you know, yesterday's topic was mouse, so I created a PPT for that. So it's just giving me that. It's that simple. And need not be yesterday, today. I want to see which files I created in 2003, for example, of type PPT, because that time there was no PPTX. PPTX came in 2007. These are the files I had created in 2003, and very, very fast. So very useful stuff based on time. Similarly, for size, also it has options. What does that mean? When I go to size, you can have different types of syntax based on size. Size colon size. What does that mean? It has some simple stuff for size. You don't have to know the exact size. For example, if you want to see something between 16 MB and 128 MB, you just say huge. So if I want to know my presentations which are very big, I don't know the exact size, obviously. What do I type? No problem. I go here and type size colon gigantic and PPTX. So see, I have many PPTs which are 290 MB and so on. Very, very useful stuff. Another nice thing based on size, and of course these can be combined with each other. So you can say time 2003, size gigantic, also possible. And then like Windows File Explorer, it also gives you a preview. What does preview mean? A file preview. And of course, it's obviously using Windows API, so everything is written in Windows. So technically, Windows itself could have created a search like this, but never mind that part. So now, when I go to View, I can have Preview also enabled, Alt P, same shortcut as Windows File Explorer. And then if I see something, it will show me Preview. So this is a very large file. Never mind that, but it is showing me the preview. In fact, it's showing me exactly the same preview which Windows Explorer will show me. Of course, Windows Explorer has more options. You can actually go across slides and stuff like that, but at least the preview is available. So if I say pick, this is the preview. So I'm typing pick, for example, YouTube, and subscribe YouTube poster, for example. How do I enable preview? View and preview. So in view, I have enabled the preview, Alt P, and now wherever I click, it will give me the preview like that. Simple and effective. All right. Now, one of the most important things is very often we have a file open dialog. You open the dialog and say search this file, or let's say insert attachment in email, and then you intend to put a file, and after opening the dialog you realize, oh, I don't remember the file. That's a very, very common requirement. So let's see how that kind of thing can happen very, very nicely using a feature of this. So I have an email here which I'm going to open, and I want to attach a file. Now, recent files, of course, are there in the attach file dialog, but if you don't know it, then you will have to say browse, and then you will have to struggle as to which is that file. Isn't this a common thing? So how do we solve this problem? So I have a file which is I can't find in the recent files, and now I need to find that file. So what have I done? I have said attach file. I couldn't find it here, so I went to browse, and now I am struggling to find the file. This is a very boring thing. Now at this stage, the only choice you have is search in this Windows thing, and it's really slow. Here, whatever you do, it is slow. So now I want to put everything app to task. So keep this dialog open right now, and let's say I want to find a file which is a PPT file, and it talks about efficiency, and it is modified last week, yesterday, something like that. So anyway, I found a particular file. Now the problem is this is a separate window. This is a separate window. This is a separate window. How do I find the exact path of this file? So you right click on the file and say copy full name, not path. Full name, very important. Copy full name to clipboard. I don't have to even know which path, which folder it is in. This folder has nothing to do with this folder. So I just go here and paste it. This is the exact file which it will find and attach as expected. This is really, really useful, and just to make it even more useful, you have to remember one shortcut. What is that shortcut? Now, what did I have to do? Right click on the file and say copy path, right? That's not really required. Shift Alt C is the shortcut you have to remember. It'll take the full path of the currently selected file. It's really simple, really effective, and then you just put it here. So that's what I have mentioned here. Shift Control C is the thing which you have to use as the shortcut. Very useful shortcut. In fact, after starting to use everything, I discovered the shortcut a couple of months later. But now that I know it, I am telling you upfront. Of course, the view in everything need not be just a file view. It can be thumbnail view as well. So what I was showing you is this. Here you go to edit, view, file. In this, shift Control C. This is the shortcut you have to remember. Really useful shortcut. On the other hand, if you wanted to open the folder, Control Enter is the shortcut, or you could have said open path, which will open the actual folder. And if you click enter, obviously it is going to open that particular file. Now you'll notice that when I clicked on this file, it took a little while because these are files on demand. So it had to download the file from OneDrive. That's why it took a little while. So that's about. And then we have some very nice combination syntax which can be used. So I'm going to show you a few types of syntax which I'm sure you will like, and then we'll finish. So here is the syntax. What am I showing here? Things like this folder colon blog. I have already shown you, size already shown you. Now this also shows a folder, and in the folder we want to search. So if I say, for example, a folder called images slash, that means it is going to search only in the folder which folder name contains the word images, and I'm going to search for pptx, no problem. And how do I know this is correct? I can click on the file and actually see the path. It will be exactly the correct type of file. So what is this path? You will notice there is the folder images here. Like that, if I go to any of the paths which is being shown here, the word images will be there in the path. That's the idea. Let me remove this preview part. So I'm going to remove the preview so that it doesn't have to download, and increase this. Notice wherever you go, images is there. So very nice. Then pick colon word. What does that mean? I'm searching for all kinds of pictures where the file name contains word, the spelling of WORD. We have seen that. P star n, of course, it understands. P star n means the file name should contain a word which starts with P and ends with N. And let's say it's type folder. So I can say folder colon. So now notice all these folders are starting with P and ending with N, like that. Very useful. And lastly, it can also search for and or syntax. So search for the help and you'll understand it. For example, I want to search for pictures which contain the word YouTube, or contain the word, or means pipe symbol, or LinkedIn. No problem. So it is searching for pictures either containing this or that, and there can be a long list like that. And finally, I have also shown you this, but again, I want to search for a file which I have created in 2007 or before. So date modified less than 2007, and it was a file of extension XLS. Done. So I'm sure you must be very happy with the fact that this works so fast and so beautifully. This is just the beginning. You can have much more sophistication with that, but I'm sure the point is driven home that this is an indispensable tool. This is a free tool. Nobody is sponsoring it. I'm showing this to you because I find it so useful. So I'm sure you will find it useful as well. The only limitation and the reason why this is fast and why Windows is slow, let me also tell you that. Because remember, this is written using Windows API. So why is this fast and Windows slow? Not because Microsoft is incompetent, because Windows searches inside the text of files as well, whereas Everything app does not search inside the file content. That's the difference. That's why it is so fast. So if you go to search and advanced search, it does give you search for a word or phrase inside the file. But notice there is a exclamation mark written there, a warning, which says file content is not indexed. That's not the job of this tool. It's not aiming to do that. There is no way to do that. End of story. So it is doing one job, search for file and its attributes, and that it's doing amazingly well. So focus tool, really useful. Start using it. There are many other things related to it like removable drives, network drives and all that, but that's later. Just start using it and then learn incrementally as we go along. If any of you are technical people, it does support regex kind of syntax for more complex thing. So if I say regex, it does have all the kind of regular expression kind of syntax as well, in case you want to do some more sophisticated search. So I hope this was useful, and I'm sure you're going to download and start using it instantly. So best of luck. Happy searching. That's it for now. See you tomorrow.